The NASCAR world has been rocked by a shocking revelation regarding the new charter agreement, leaving many to wonder if powerhouse teams like Hendrick Motorsports and Team Penske are literally done with NASCAR. Let's explore the details of this developing story and examine its potential implications for the future of NASCAR. The NASCAR Charter system, implemented in 2016, has been a cornerstone of team stability and financing in the sport. Its purpose was to ensure teams had guaranteed entry into each race and a portion of the prize money. Currently, there are 36 charters in circulation, each subject to performance standards. If a team finishes in the bottom 3 for 3 consecutive years, NASCAR reserves the right to reclaim the charter. However, recent developments have cast a shadow of uncertainty over this system. The existing charter agreement was due to expire in 2024, but negotiations for a new deal have been protracted and contentious. This delay has had significant repercussions, most notably the decision by Stewart-Haas Racing to cease operations, putting 4 charters on the market. The value of these charters has also seen dramatic fluctuations. In 2023, Spire Motorsports paid $40 million for a charter. Fast forward to 2024, and Front Row Motorsports acquired one for a significantly lower price, between $20 to $25 million. At the heart of these issues lies the financial challenges faced by NASCAR teams. The current revenue allocation model has been a point of contention, with NASCAR receiving 51% of the broadcast deal revenue, teams getting 39%, and racetracks left with 10%. Considering that running a Cup Series team costs approximately $18 million per year, excluding driver salaries and marketing expenses, it's clear why teams are feeling the financial strain. NASCAR teams are heavily reliant on sponsorships, which account for 60% to 80% of their revenue. This dependency creates a precarious financial situation, especially when compared to other sports. For instance, Major League Baseball teams only rely on sponsorships for 8% to 12% of their revenue. This contrast highlights the unique challenges faced by NASCAR teams in securing stable funding. In 2022, teams began voicing their concerns about the current system, labeling it as flawed and calling for a larger share of the media rights agreement. NASCAR's new media rights contract, worth $7.7 billion over 7 years, was seen as a potential solution. However, it has introduced new challenges, particularly with its fragmented broadcast strategy. The most recent development, and perhaps the most controversial, came from NASCAR insider Bob Pockrass. He reported that under the new charter agreement, teams will be limited to just 3 charters. However, there's a significant caveat. Hendrick Motorsports and Gibbs Racing, who currently operate 4 charters each, will be grandfathered in and allowed to maintain their current structure. This revelation has shocked the NASCAR community. The implications of this new rule are far-reaching and could significantly impact team operations and competitiveness. While other teams can still run a 4th car as an open team, the advantages of having a chartered entry are substantial. NASCAR's motivations for this change remain unclear. Some speculate it's an attempt to manage costs and stimulate competitiveness, while others see it as a way to make it easier for new teams to enter the sport. However, by grandfathering in the larger teams, NASCAR seems to be maintaining the existing dynamics to some degree. The changing media landscape adds another layer of complexity to this situation. Traditional television viewership is declining, with streaming services gaining popularity. However, streaming remains a risky proposition, and broadcasters are hesitant to commit to long-term contracts due to the uncertain future of media consumption. NASCAR's 2024 timeline has been marked by several significant events. In January, discussions about charter agreements and revenue sharing were ongoing. By February, tensions had escalated as teams allowed the extension to expire, expressing their dissatisfaction with the lack of progress. In May, NASCAR attempted to shift focus by introducing an in-season tournament coinciding with TNT Sports' broadcast schedule. June brought unexpected news of NASCAR considering allowing the France family to purchase charters, a move that raised eyebrows given the potential conflict of interest. Looking ahead to 2025, NASCAR is planning a major reorganization. This includes internal operational changes and merging sponsorship and media operations to better align these closely related areas. The impact of the 3-charter limit is expected to be significant. It will likely lead to a restructuring of team strategies and alter the competitive dynamics of the series, while grandfathering top-tier teams like Hendrick Motorsports and Gibbs Racing ensures some stability. It also raises questions about the balance between fostering new talent and preserving the dominance of established powerhouses. One of the most pressing challenges remains the financial strain on teams. The current revenue model, which heavily relies on sponsorships, underscores the urgency of a more equitable revenue-sharing structure. While the proposed increase from 39% to 42%, or potentially 50% of media revenue, represents progress, it falls short of addressing the root cause, the sport's dependency on external funding. The media distribution challenges cannot be overlooked. With NASCAR's programming now distributed across multiple platforms, fan accessibility could become an issue. While streaming appeals to younger audiences, the fragmented nature of broadcast partnerships risks alienating casual fans, potentially shrinking the sport's audience. In the midst of this charter controversy, there's some exciting news for the upcoming Daytona 500. Roger Penske's IndyCar legend Helio Castroneves is set to attempt to qualify for the Great American Race with Stewart-Haas Racing's Project 91. This development adds an intriguing storyline to what could be the largest Daytona 500 entry list in nearly a decade, with potentially 46 entries vying for a spot in the race. In 2005, NASCAR implemented a 4-car limit per team. At the time, Roush Racing was dominating the sport with 5 cars, even placing half the field in the playoffs. NASCAR didn't force immediate downsizing, but gave teams a few years to honor existing contracts before scaling back. This historical precedent raises questions about the current situation. Is there a similar plan for Hendrick Motorsports and Gibbs Racing, or will they be allowed to maintain their 4th charter indefinitely? The lack of a clear plan for future adjustments has left many in the NASCAR community concerned. The potential competitive advantages of 4-car teams cannot be ignored. More cars mean more data, more opportunities to try different setups, and more chances to find that winning edge. In a sport where milliseconds can make the difference between victory and defeat, these advantages could be significant. The motivations behind this rule change remain a subject of speculation. Some believe it could be part of a larger plan by the France family, possibly paving the way for them to own and operate their own Cup Series team. Others suggest it might be preparation for new manufacturers entering the sport. However, these theories contrast sharply with the justifications given for the 2005 team limits, which were aimed at making it easier for new owners to enter and be competitive. NASCAR President Steve Phelps has reportedly taken on a more strategic role in the organization, while Chief Operating Officer Steve O'Donnell has been given additional responsibilities. These changes, along with the merging of NASCAR's sponsorship and media operations, indicate a significant shift in the sport's management approach. The uncertainty surrounding these changes has left many questioning the future of NASCAR. Will these changes fortify the sport's foundation, or will they exacerbate existing disparities between teams? The answer to this question will likely shape NASCAR's trajectory for years to come. The reaction from team owners has been mixed. While some see the potential for positive change, others are concerned about the long-term implications for their operations. Stewart-Haas Racing owner Justin Marks, who recently expanded to 3 chartered teams, shared his perspective. "I've always thought that 3 teams is a really strong number of teams to have in this sport. It just gives you 33% more of an opportunity on the racetrack every weekend. Frankly, 4-car teams are reserved for really big companies in the sport, and it's tough to make 4 cars work." The financial implications of this change cannot be overstated. With teams already operating on razor-thin margins, any shift in the competitive landscape could have significant consequences. The proposed changes to the revenue-sharing model, while a step in the right direction, may not be enough to offset the potential loss of a charter for some teams. Moreover, the grandfathering of certain teams has raised questions about fairness and competitive balance. If having a 4th car provides a significant advantage, as many believe it does, then allowing some teams to maintain this advantage while restricting others could create a 2-tiered system within the sport.